Hi. I hope that fan in the back isn't too loud. I wanted to make a video cataloging my thoughts at this point on artificial intelligence. I made a short video for TikTok and Instagram on the subject, but I wanted to make a longer form one. Now, it's mostly just for me, but that's only because my thoughts aren't all that well put together just yet. And I think I have some interesting thoughts on the subject. The thesis of the video I made, essentially, is that AI is a tool, and it should be used properly. There's a YouTuber by the name of Jonathan Peugeot. He's a Christian, and he made a wonderful video a few years back in which he stated something quite interesting, and that's, if you want to understand AI, or fallen angel, a demon, you could take a look at AI. Now, in the Christian tradition, demons are to be avoided completely, essentially. But there are other traditions, and they don't necessarily have to be destroyed. It's always my instinct to destroy demonic things, but if you can subjugate a demon to your will, then it's under your complete command. You prevent it from doing anything awful, and you can direct it towards building something or moving to some end. But then you have to think about how far, where are the boundaries? What does that look like? And AI is so new that, well, as far as I can tell, the only way to build a framework is to start with the assumption that you're dealing with something very powerful without a soul. That could be incredibly destructive or useful, depending on how it's used. Olivia Rodrigo recently took, apparently, the #1 spot from an AI-generated song. I haven't heard this AI-generated song. I don't want to. That should be outlawed. That shouldn't be allowed to be. That an AI-generated song could be at #1. I have whoever is responsible for that in my sights. The problem with legality is that it's a facsimile of morality. It's a facsimile of morality at the given time that the law was created. So you might wind up with something that's morally reprehensible that's codified into law, but then the world changes and people move on and things change, and we need to integrate new understandings into law. And as far as I can tell, that's a laborious process that with the current government won't get anywhere. And so I guess then we could get into government and talk about that for a moment. I'm quite certain that the American model is a failure, at this juncture, at least. We live in some sort of bizarre, temporary hellscape, in which everybody's shouting and nobody has anything to say. Um, and it actually looks to me to be very similar to what happened in Germany in the early 20th century, in which there was actually two sides. One side was incredibly liberal, and that lack of base and morality and grounding led to a reactionary fascism and a desire for complete control. I'm not on either side. Well, certainly not there, but not here either. I'm not on either side. I suppose you would say I'm a monarchist, because my ideal form of government would be similar to Plato's idea of a group of philosopher kings, or the Christian idea of 1,000-year reign. Though I don't touch that. But ideally, you would have a meritocracy, and the most intelligent and the wisest people working but also who are good. That shouldn't be an aside. You want very good people who are properly oriented at the top of the hierarchy. And you can't have a system of government or a society without a hierarchy. And you can argue about what the hierarchy should be based on. But we're human beings. It's hardwired into us. I'm not asking. Right. This is not up for debate. There is an absolute truth. And it feels very frightening to have to make that statement and have it sound radical. To say I'm displeased with this country would be an understatement. But let's push all this aside. You need to have not checks and balances. That doesn't work. That got us here. You need to have good people at the top of the hierarchy and bad people subjugated to the bottom of the hierarchy. Moving this to AI, you need to have human beings at the top of the hierarchy and AI subjugated to the bottom of the hierarchy, so that AI is not doing the process of creation in place of the human being, but AI is creating or helping, or no, not even. This is so fun. So you want it to be like, okay, I have to bring this, I have to self-reference now. I'm a musician by trade, or whatever. I will never create a song with AI. The closest I've gotten, I think, is I said I wanted to use modes, which are basically scales. It's code for scales that are outside of major and minor. Now, I didn't go to Berkeley, so I'm not huge. I don't understand all of that very well. That kind of intuitively once I got it. But I said, okay, what are some chord progressions in the scale that I could use? And I came up with a few, and I think I played one of them, and I said, oh, okay, I understand this scale, I understand this mode. And then I came up with my own chord progression in that mode. I will never create a song with AI. I'll never say, write me a song. But I'm not an artist. I can't draw. So I have used it recently, very frequently, and I probably will continue to in the future until I meet artists who have their own ideas and can draw and do all these amazing things. I just, it all went to the ears. I don't know. I think that's fine. I think it's fine to create pieces of artwork to support a musical ambition with AI. I think it would be fine to support visual artists. I love visual artists. I'll support you. I think it would be fine for a visual artist to support their visual art with little AI-generated sound clips. But you can't draw a line, right? Because it's a fluid thing, and it's so new that if you draw lines, you're just asking people to push the lines forward. So you have to say, well, here are the lines. I want humanity to win, and I want goodness to win, and I want the soul to win. Or on the other side, I don't care. I want money, and I don't care about goodness or truth or the human being. As long as money is made, it's. I imagine that would be the impetus. And then we have a good and evil battle. Finally, a real one. Not Jews and Muslims fighting each other over the same God that they call a different name. Or just, the scum of the earth fighting the scum of the earth. And everybody else has to suffer for it. Right? Like, I don't know. What else can I talk about? This is so fun. Oh, I wanted to be a YouTuber when I was a little boy. I was like 11 or 10 or 11. I wanted to be a YouTuber. It's so cute. What else do I have to say? Do I have anything? Because if I don't have anything else to say, I don't want to say anything else. There's an idea in Christianity that about it's. But there's an idea that essentially, for a short time, everything can be flipped, right? Where what looks good is actually quite bad, and what looks bad is actually the good team. And but then it gets very confusing. And that it's called Satan's short season or Satan's little season, and it's an idea I play with a lot in this day and age. And I don't know, I feel like everybody's getting a little sick of it. I'm not right wing and I'm not left wing. I don't believe in this country. I believe in the good people of this country. But the good people of this country are not running the country. And the small ideas, or the medium-sized ideas to how to fix things, have not panned out. We need big ideas and real ideas. For the next 2 years, I don't imagine any of them are going to get anywhere. I might be wrong. We'll see. But war in the Middle East. We're living in hell. I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, this is hell. Everybody's fighting everybody, and nobody knows why. But I live in my own heaven. Maybe I should touch on that Weimar Republic idea a little more. Political identity is what it is. I went searching for it, I think when I was 13 or 14. I placed myself in the liberal left-wing camp. And that worked for a while, but it had its flaws. And I found God. And then God found me. And that all kind of went out the window. And then I was, I suppose, right-wing, sort of liberal. Not really. Kinda. And I think I've finally kind of found that I've fallen sort of the left-wing authoritarian realm. But that's, I mean, what does that mean? I have very good right-wing liberal friends. Actually, most of my friends. It doesn't matter, really. It matters where your heart is. It matters where your conscience is. When in doubt, never underestimate the power of a good stimulant. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is for. There's like a nail here. Oh! I have a record player. I'm gonna gift it to someone. But I got that when I was 14, when I was a left-wing liberal. And yeah, my vape died and it's 3 a.m. So we're playing musical chairs. That's why I hang on to them for nights like this. Drugs are another thing where it's like you want to have complete control over it. So, you know, there's certain drugs like nicotine where there's, you know, no real risk involved with getting addicted to it. It's kind of a money sink if you're a young, broke rock star like me. But that's really the only issue. And we can cure cancer. We just need to get the cancer out of government. So, there are other drugs that you should only use when you're above the law and you're in the studio. And you should only use them in the studio. No exceptions outside. But that's for the future. Oh yeah, I should talk about... This is fun. This is like a little vlog or something. So, I just finished the album. And it comes out a week from tomorrow. Viva Rare. I have to get used to saying it. I'm not used to saying it. Viva la vida. Viva Rare. That wasn't in the cards when I was coming up with the name. It's an anagram. I think I just took some cocaine from the future and brought it back here. But I have no plans to use any illegal substance, and I have never touched cocaine, which I think we're waging war on right now. I'm pretty sure the amount of cocaine Donald Trump has done is above none, but that's fine. That's fine. You don't want, you know, everyone to be playing by the same rulebook, because that doesn't make any sense. I get it. But, oh, also I'm 23 today. So, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, mate. What was this video about? AI? Do I have anything else to say about that? you have to be careful because, nefarious people with nefarious ends are going to use basically human bots who are clickbaiting you and rage baiting you into watching their videos about how AI is going to take over, and they're probably I don't know this, but they're probably pushing those videos to further their nefarious ends. So stop putting your energy into fear and start figuring out how you're going to make your world a better place. Doesn't matter if it's small. I sound like Jordan Peterson, but he's an amazing man, and I'm sick of the bullshit about him. Amazing man. If everybody fixes their world, no matter how small and no matter how great, then we're going to make it through this. All I see when I read the news or look at the White House or too often go out in the world is people trying to make the world a worse place. And it's pathetic. And it might be happening at the top where it's sickening and evil. But if it happens in the barrio or it happens in, downtown Nashua, it's also sickening and evil. And the people at the bottom who are making the world a worse place are going to blame the people at the top who are also making the world a worse place. And I imagine the people at the top who are trying to make the world a worse place are trying to kill all the people at the bottom. So I don't know. I'm 23. And I'm just getting my feet under me. But also, I have a lot to say. And I have a lot of ideas that I don't know if they're good or not. Oh, Plato's Republic. I had this thought. I think that God could be present in Plato's Republic, or could not be. And I think Plato was probably such a smart fella that he left that open to interpretation. Probably. Maybe he left the idea that he left it open to interpretation. Huh? How about that? It's an idea. Am I done? I think I'm done. This is fun. This is my boyhood room. I was in this room from 3 months old. I was born in California. We moved here. 3 months old to 15, 16, around there. And then I got the huge room over there, and I got to throw the best get-togethers in high school. Or one night we were all so high, and we heard this noise. Everybody's like looking at each other like, what the fuck? Somebody had set the car alarm off, but it sounded like this ethereal angel talking from outside of the room. It was very interesting. And then I got thrown in the closet when I got kicked out of school. This tiny little room that Lars is in now. Hi, Lars. And now I'm back here. I'm in this. It's funny. It all comes around. Also, I love Indians. Sorry, I don't know why that... Well, I was thinking of karma. It all comes around. There are too many spiritual greats that came from India. To have any ill feeling towards India. And they all chose, like, the ideal route that if you can take, you should take, which is peace and live in peace and believe that peace is the highest good, which I believe love is the highest good, so I'm a little different. but it's amazing. Anyways, I suppose that's all. Good night.